of public services, whether it is the police force, the civil service, or our educational system. If side opposition were to have its way today, we would see a world where a strike by hundreds of public servants would easily cripple the way of life for millions of others. Good evening, one and all. Today, my side of the house will show you that there are economic, social, and ideological reasons of why public servants should not be allowed to go on strike. But before we go on to those reasons and our case policy, let's start with the definition. By criminal offense, we mean that we will make striking an illegal act. By individuals who work in public services, we refer to people who are involved in operating public goods, such as the police force, public transport, and civil service. By going on strike, we refer to the act of refusing to work in order to gain certain benefits from our employers. Our policy today is simple. We will make it an illegal act for people who work in public services to go on strike, and will propose a jail term or a hefty fine for whoever involved. In addition to this, our side also believes in having trade unions and frequent meetings between the public servants and the government, therefore using more peaceful approaches towards ensuring the welfare of public servants. We think that today's debate is a principal debate as to whether more benefit or harm will come out of our side's policy. We will show you clearly how our policy benefits the economy, the society, and sends out the right messages. Ultimately, as the first speaker, I will be touching on 2 points. First, on why the law should prevent innocent third-party harms. Second, the possible backlash that striking by public servants can cause. My second speaker, Lionel, will be talking about the socio-economic cost of allowing public servants to strike. And now on to my first point on why the law should prevent innocent third-party harms. The thesis of my argument is this. When individuals in public service go on strike, they do not affect their employers. There will be a much greater amount of harm done to the general public who are innocent and should not bear the damage. Why do we say so? We say so because, unlike in a private company where the employer is the only one that will suffer disproportionately, in public services go on strike. Let me give you an example. When teachers in England went on strike in 2013, thousands of schools had to be shut down, and this tremendously affected 27% of the student population in England. This places these students who have done nothing wrong and are otherwise innocent third parties at a disadvantage. We do not think that this is fair or efficient for innocent third parties to be harmed as a result of some people's problems. Accordingly, just like how the criminal law works to prevent people from causing harm to others, like how the law stops theft and robbery, the same should be done to public service going on strike. When individuals in public service go on strike, not only do they affect innocent third parties, but they also create resentment themselves and thus delegitimize the whole movement. This brings me nicely to my second point onto the possible backlash that could be created. We understand that public servants go on strike because they want better pay or better job conditions. However, by going on strike, they shift the focus away from their conditions, but towards the inconveniences that they create. As such, the general public, having been harmed by the strike, will be more concerned about the harm they face, like the stoppage of train services and the stoppage of schools, rather than the concerns of the public servants caused in the first place. This causes resentment and makes it even harder for public servants to convince the public that they deserve better job benefits. Let's take the 2013 SMRT bus driver strike in Singapore, for example. When all bus drivers went on strike, the focus of major newspapers was on the inconveniences of the people, rather than the reasons for the strike. There was huge internet resentment of the bus drivers' action, and this caused further xenophobia in Singapore. It did not make the bus drivers' goal of getting better pay any easier. In comparison, our side of the house believes in consultations between the trade unions and the government. Peaceful consultations allow for points to be made across without angering the public or causing harm. We tell side opposition to come out and show us why one should resort to more violent and harmful antics instead of friendly and peaceful negotiations. Because we stand for peaceful negotiations, a stable economy, and a system built on fairness, we are proud to propose. Thank you.
For 1 minute and 45 seconds.
I thank the first proposition speaker for his speech.